You're watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me on another edition of Service Drive right here at cbtnews.com. Today we're talking with Wayne Bridges, who's the Director of Technician Training at Toyota of Puyallup, who's on a mission to tackle one of the industry's biggest challenges, recruiting and training skilled technicians and service advisors. He's developed a program at his dealership, so we're talking about that today and how it works and why it works so well. So thank you, Wayne, for joining us on the show.
Glad to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Sure. So before we get into the training and such, how's business at your dealership?
Business is good, both on the variable side and down in the shop.
Okay.
We're selling cars. The biggest issue we're having right now is, we need more RAV4s, here at the Toyota dealership, and we just did a big model change. So that's been a little bit of a struggle, but we're starting to get them. And down in the main shop, we're busy, both on our TXM side, which is our lube side. We're doing probably 100 to 110 cars a day through that facility. Yeah. And just, I need to give the guys in the TXM department a big shout out. We were just ranked the #1 TXM dealer in the nation. So
wow, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we got a great crew down there.
Yeah. Wow. Congratulations to you and the crew. That's awesome. You've spent more than 50 years in fixed operations. You've seen it all and in automotive education. Where do you think the biggest disconnect is when it comes to bringing young people into the service department and service careers?
Well, I think it's a twofold thing. One, we have to lay at the feet of education because over the last 40 years, we've done such a great job of disparaging skilled trades. Mm-hmm. If you didn't go to college, you were basically a loser. Right. And so we've been fighting that hurdle for about 40 years. But I think we've gotten a turnaround because we did such a good job of destroying skilled trades. There's a huge demand now. So the education side is starting to put money and resources into that. So that's one piece. And then the other piece, especially on the automotive side, we've done a really poor job of reaching out to those young people. Getting in their schools, getting to those career fairs and things like that, spending time with them. And that is such a critical piece, in attracting them into the industry. And you can't start too young. I go visit elementary school classrooms and stuff to sow that seed early. Yeah. That's elementary schools. Wow. That's getting them early. That's for sure. That's great. Well, I just think about myself. I knew at the age of 10, I wanted to work on cars, and that's been my focus since the age of 10 years old. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, you've created a very unique recruitment and training program. That's part of it right there for technicians and advisors. So can you walk us through what that looks like? So here at Toyota of Puyallup, we have a pretty unique thing here. My job title is Director of Technician Training, and I actually give classroom lectures to our technicians, predominantly focusing on our entry-level techs. Our TXM techs, a lot of them we just hire off the street. They have no automotive training. And so they come up with me a couple times a week on the time clock, and they get lecture classes from me, where we sit down and we go through automotive theory. I just finished up an electrical basics class where they learned Ohm's law, and they built some electrical circuits because we have bought some electrical trainers where they actually build circuits and they can actually take the Ohm's law and then build it and see what really happens. It's not just math, and it's not just abstract. They get to see it in real life. And then when I'm not giving classes to them, I'm also preparing classes to help our main shop techs pass their ASE certifications and their other Toyota certifications. So I actually give them intense classes to help them pass that. And then if I'm not teaching, which that's actually probably only about 30% of what I do here. The rest of the time, I'm actually in the shop, hands-on with those young techs.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Helping mentor them, working alongside them. And we have a pretty good apprenticeship model here anyway. All of our entry-level techs, once they make it to the main shop, we tuck them between two, experienced technicians. So they're getting mentored by them. And then I'm in there also helping supplement.
Wow. That's great support.
It is. It's great support. And that's what this industry has lacked for so many years.
Yeah, no question about it. They usually just bring them in, a little bit of training, cut them loose, and then see if they're going to make it or not, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate. So recruiting is one challenge, but retention is another, right? Keeping those technicians. I'm sure you've had that as a challenge there at the store, especially as you're bringing these people up. You're creating, what could be master technicians one day, and then the key there is keeping them under your employment there at the store, right?
Well, here's the thing. We do not have a retention problem here at Toyota of Puyallup.
That's great.
Jim, who's one of our master techs, he has been a technician at Toyota of Puyallup for 41 years.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Our average tenure is probably about 15 years.
Wow.
We don't have turnover, but it's because we take care of our technicians and we give them the tools to be successful. And that's the key. Probably the biggest problem we have here is that we don't have turnover. So those young technicians that come in here, they're hungry to get to the floor, and be a technician.
Sure.
Too often we don't have space for them, but that's part of the reason why we keep training them. A lot of them stay for a long time, changing oil for 5, 6, 7 years, because they know eventually they're going to get into the shop and they know they're going to get taken care of.
Yeah.
But if they're so hungry they need to go somewhere else, we let them go, gladly, because we want them to be successful.
Sure.
As well. And we know you can only wait so long.
Yeah.
And but we try to make sure that they're prepared when they leave and go somewhere else. They're going to be successful there. So that's part of our focus here.
That's great. Well, kudos to you. I mean, you've built, it sounds like a great culture to bring those people into, and then to get the cooperation of all of those other technicians that support those other young technicians, the junior, and the apprentices and such. That's a pretty cool operation that you've set up, and that kudos to you for training those people and as I said, building that great culture within the fixed ops department there.
Well, I have to give kudos to the owner, Kerry Odeman, and Shane Koroski, who is our general manager.
Sure.
That they are willing to have someone like me on staff.
Yeah.
I don't generate revenue for this dealership. They keep reminding me though that because their technicians are getting better, they're making money off of me.
I was going to say you really are generating, but it's maybe one generation removed, so to speak, or one level removed, because what you're training them to do is to be able to take good care of the customers and the vehicles and such, and therein lies the pot of gold, right?
Exactly. If you take care of your staff, then they're going to take care of the customers. That's right. It's just that simple.
Yeah. So I understand your son is a sales associate and your daughter works as a service advisor. What is that like for you personally, to be working with your kids and helping them build their careers in the automotive industry?
Well, it is such an incredible blessing to be able to work with my kids, because I actually really like my kids. And so that makes it nice.
I make that helps, right?
And it was never a planned thing for them to come to work in the automotive industry. My son started out as a middle school history teacher, social studies teacher. But with the way things are in schools today and the politics and stuff, he just couldn't do it anymore. And so I recommended that he, give it a shot, see if he would like it. So he came down and shadowed in different departments for, a few days, and decided the sales side fit his personality really good. He loves people. He's very outgoing, and he's doing pretty darn good.
That's right.
And then my daughter, she was just kind of in between things and needing a job. And I same thing. I had her come down, but I thought she would really be a good service advisor because she's very detail oriented.
Sure.
And she cares about people and stuff. And so same thing. She shadowed in a few different departments and then tried the service advisor thing, and it's worked out really good. And she's really doing well. As a matter of fact, right now she's probably making more money than her dad is. So, which is pretty cool.
That's right. So that's very cool. That's very cool. Who knows? Maybe one day, they end up running the store and you end up working for your kids.
Well, that could be. Although I'm 69, I am going to retire someday. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this as we close out this segment. What gives you the most hope when you look at the next generation entering the industry?
Well, you know what? I love the young people of today. One of the other things I do is I coach high school track and field.
Oh, wow.
I coach the javelin in the spring, and then I coach cross country in the fall.
Oh my God.
And so I get to work with these teenagers, and there's so much life and excitement in them.
Sure.
And I just think it's great.
Yeah.
But especially in the automotive industry, we're going to have to change the way we've been doing things, because the way we treated people when I got in the industry 50 years ago isn't going to work for these young people.
Yeah.
The young people of today, they need to have meaning. They need to, they're very focused on a good work-life balance.
Sure.
So we can't just be throwing them in on flat rate after 6 months.
That's right.
And expect them to prosper.
That's right.
We're going to have to offer, things that mean something to them. It's more than just keeping someone's car running, but it's helping them understand how important that is and what a service it is to people.
That's right.
So I have great hope for the young people. I think we're going to be in good hands. We just have to make sure that us older people do a good job of preparing them for it.
Yeah, no question, man. It sounds like you're doing that. You're already reaching into elementary schools and kind of training those individuals as well, which I think is really, really cool. And as you mentioned, you were 10 years old and knew that, that's what you wanted to do. And wow, that's amazing. So you're making us look good in the industry, and we appreciate that. So Wayne Bridges, Director of Technician Training, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Very much appreciate it. Love to do a follow-up with you to see how things are moving along.
Okay, well, that'd be fun. Thank you, Jim.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.